gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
On the latest headlines, we've got a suspected killer due in court.
One of two men, in fact, charged with capital murder of a 12-year-old girl expected to face a judge. We're learning more disturbing details about what happened to Jocelyn Nungaray through court documents. Shelby Rose joins us live right now with the latest on this case.
All right, guys. So we have more crime from Biden's bloody border. Yes, I coined the term Biden's bloody border, where illegal aliens in this country are running rampant, running wild, able to do whatever they want, and getting benefits from tax-paying American citizens. There is an extreme injustice going on, and after the debate of seeing Biden last night, he's not fit for the job. It's obvious, and he must not be the one in charge calling the shots.
Shelby.
Good morning. Yes, according to court records, both suspects in this case had already had their bond denied by a judge, but in just about 30 minutes from now is when we're expecting to see 26-year-old Franklin Pena appear for the first time in court. The second suspect in this case, that's 21-year-old Johan Martinez. He is scheduled for tomorrow. Now, both men are facing capital murder charges for the death of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray just 1 week ago.
They murdered a 12-year-old girl, and what I understand from this story, they raped her for 2 whole hours. A 12-year-old. These super illegal burrito gremlins are on demon time.
According to court documents, the suspects lured her under a bridge where they stayed with her for more than 2 hours before allegedly killing her and throwing her body into the bayou.
Wow.
Less than 1 month prior, though, on May 28th, Pena, Venezuelan national, was detained by Border Patrol agents in El Paso and released the same day.
Of course. Detained by Border Patrol and released. This is the epitome of Biden's bloody border. And it's not just blood that Biden has on his hands. It's a lot more bodily fluids, because these illegals are, I mean, they're manic. They're freaking a lot of them just feral animals at this point, and they are preying on innocent young women. It's absolutely disgusting. They're shooting our police officers, and it has to stop.
Similarly, Martinez was apprehended and released on March 14th. Now, it's unclear what will happen in court this morning, but Jocelyn's mother hopes the justice system will prevail.
She deserves to live and breathe every single day. I was looking forward to seeing how beautiful she was going to grow up to be. And I know God is real, God is good, and they will feel God's wrath.
And we did want to pass along the details for Jocelyn's funeral that will be held this Thursday. The services will be at the Earthman Rest Haven Cemetery on the North Freeway from 1 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the community is invited to attend and pay their respects. Also, Mattress Mac has covered the funeral expenses and will be hosting a celebration of life for Jocelyn following the service, and that will be held at Gallery Furniture on the North Freeway. Reporting live outside the Harris County Courthouse, Shelby Rose, Fox 26 News.
Of 12-year-old Jocelyn. We are learning new details about that horrific death of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray. As we did mention, one of those suspects in her death in court today.
His immigration status and restrictions placed by authorities are raising some questions. Fox 26's Jonathan Mejia getting answers from an immigration attorney and reaction from the family after the court appearance. Jonathan.
Yeah, just horrific details today. Prosecutors in court today shared how Jocelyn had marks on her neck, scrapes on her body consistent with being dragged, and how one of the suspects put his arms around Jocelyn's neck and covered her mouth.
Our immigration system is broken, and if there was ever a case that reflected that, it's this one.
Franklin Pena, one of the alleged killers of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray, made his initial court appearance today. It was...
Yeah, we need mass deportations like Donald Trump said. And the good thing about it is that the majority of Hispanic Americans support it. So they're going to try to do a lot of things to throw us off when it comes to just the media trying to spin the mass deportations thing. But in all actuality, that's gonna be the thing that works and that makes this country safe again, okay? And once it's safe again, we can make it great again. And this is something that the Democrats do not want. They want to continue to bring in a new voter base. They want to continue to bring in the crime, the illegals. I mean, it's just, they want complete and utter chaos, and people are fed up.
Said that Pena, who's a Venezuelan native and entered the country illegally, had an ankle monitor provided by ICE.
Immigration needs to get redone. You tell me that with an ankle monitor, you're good. But you're still walking on the streets.
Fox 26 spoke with Alexis Lucero, an immigration defense attorney, and he explained that ICE places restrictions on some people they release by way of a limited service cell phone or an ankle monitor.
People are generally subject to detention when immigration authorities cannot make a determination whether that person is a danger to the community, or that they doubt that the person will actually present themselves later to immigration authorities.
The GPS tracking devices are monitored by law enforcement agencies and contractors, but Lucero says ICE is limited by their budget and contract.
Let's say, for example, somebody alters or removes it. It may be difficult for immigration to actually locate them after that process. Immigration may know their last whereabouts, but they may be unable to detect them later on.
Jocelyn's mother says Pena and Johan Martinez took her daughter's life away, but her legacy will live forever.
She was a very special little girl that deserves her justice, and I know she's gonna make a difference in this world for all children, and now it's my job to make sure it continues to happen.
Pena was given a $10 million bond, and the second suspect, Johan Martinez, is due in court tomorrow morning. Now, District Attorney Kim Ogg says they will ask for the same bond amount for Martinez as well. I'm reporting live in the studio tonight, Jonathan Mejia, Fox 26 News.
To an emotional day for the family of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray, as a second suspect charged in her murder appeared in court. The family learning new details about the night Jocelyn was killed, and it was too much for one family member to bear. Troy Kless is in our newsroom with what happened today. Troy?
Well, Len, the suspect's bond for his murder charge is $10 million, but after the hearing finished, Jocelyn's grandmother had an outburst against the accused killer.
Wow.
For the second day in a row, family of Jocelyn Nungaray packed a Harris County courtroom as they watched suspect Johan Jose Martinez Rangel appear. Investigators say the 22-year-old admitted to a witness that he had done something bad and that he had to finish what he started.
At his arrest, he had a bite mark on his arm and scratch marks on his arms.
Prosecutors say his co-defendant, Franklin Pena, told investigators that Martinez Rangel was on top of Jocelyn, allegedly tied her body up and threw it in the creek. He now has a $10 million bond on a capital murder charge. Due to state law, he cannot be eligible for the death penalty without a proof-evident hearing. Prosecutors say that particular hearing is still a possibility.
Yeah, man, we need to put him down. Put him down, and I hate that it is going to cost taxpayer dollars, but I think we'd be doing the world a favor to get rid of these two super illegal burrito gremlins on demon time.
What the judge was explaining is if we change this case to a capital murder with an underlying of sexual assault or kidnapping, those cases are death penalty eligible, and then at that time we can have a proof evident hearing to hold them at no bond.
Jocelyn's grandmother could be heard in the courtroom calling to the suspect, "Murderer, look at my face." You can see a bailiff talking to the family after the hearing is done.
It's especially difficult when you're dealing with the loss of a 12-year-old child who had their whole life ahead of them.
Wow.
So this will be a very emotional case for us as prosecutors as well as the family.
Prosecutors also say the suspect was looking up ways to flee the country after his image went public. Now prosecutors are also rushing test results to see if the victim was sexually assaulted. Back to
and you can almost guarantee that she was. I mean, the reports are already out that that 2-hour time period that they spent with her before killing her, they raped her.
To you. We're waiting on that information. Troy Kless, thank you. KHU 11, of course, following this story closely. So for the very latest developments, head to khou.com for all of the updates.
Well, the murder of Jocelyn Nungaray front and center at today's meeting at Harris County Commissioner's Court.
That's where we have Fox 26 political reporter Greg Rugen. Greg, did county leaders have anything to say?
Yeah, it was mostly Judge Lena Hidalgo talking. She says evil happens regardless of immigration status. And she also spent time blaming Republicans for the conditions that led to Jocelyn's murder.
When the former president decided that he did not want Biden to have a win on immigration, he told his party to pull out of that agreement. So blaming things on the current immigration policy is absolutely political.
Wow.
And it really breaks my heart that people would politicize the sadness that tragedy to me.
These women do not care about their constituents' safety, period. You are trying to justify, rationalize the rape and murder of a 12-year-old innocent little girl. You should be ashamed of yourself.
It hurts even more that they're being used as pawns in this fight over immigration that doesn't even exist because Biden and McConnell agree. It's just that Trump won't let him move it forward.
All due respect, Judge, you said this issue shouldn't be politicized, but by pointing the finger at former President Trump and Republicans in Congress, aren't you politicizing it?
And this is a county judge, Harris County judge. These are the people who are allowing these criminals to bond out on virtually nothing. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I think I answered the question. So, yeah, I mean, this is about Jocelyn. This is about her family, and if we want to,
Judge,
as I said, talk about immigration.
You didn't answer the question. Are you politicizing this by pointing the finger at Republicans and saying it's their fault, not the fault of the Biden administration that lifted the Remain in Mexico policies?
Again, the Biden administration reached an agreement with Leader McConnell to address this, but this is not about immigration. I'm not going to feed into that.
Commissioner Tom Ramsey also spoke out, telling Fox 26, Harris County has become a magnet for undocumented criminals. Is Harris County, based upon the policies we have in place, a de facto sanctuary county?
Based on those policies, based on our unwillingness to engage, I believe it is. I think people know that cross that border, that with ill intent, that cross that border, that are coming here to do bad things. They know that they can come to Houston, Texas, the third largest county in America, and they can do really bad things and not get caught and nothing would happen. If they went a few counties to the north of us, there would be something happen to them. But they don't. They stay in what I think your term is correct. It's a sanctuary county, and we've got to turn that around.
Both Judge Hidalgo and Commissioner Ramsey announced they would be attending Jocelyn's funeral on Thursday. For now, I'm live at Commissioner's Court. Greg Grugan, Fox 26 News.
This morning, the second capital murder suspect charged in 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray's death made his first court appearance. A judge set bond for 22-year-old Johan Martinez Rangel at $10 million. That's the same bond amount the other suspect, 26-year-old Franklin Pena, was given just yesterday. Our Rochelle Turner was inside the courtroom for both hearings. She's breaking down what happened.
Today, prosecutors said detectives were able to get inside Johan Jose Martinez Rangel's phone. They learned that he was trying to research how to get out of the country. Wow,
so it's crazy because It's so easy to get in. I bet he didn't have to research how to get in, but to get out, he's scrambling. God, Biden's bloody border is a disaster. These super illegal burrito gremlins are on demon time.
We also learned that Martinez Rangel has 2 kids. His defense attorney said they do not live in Harris County. The 22-year-old was also handcuffed wearing a yellow jumpsuit as he walked into the courtroom. Court records show he and Martinez Rangel lured Jocelyn to a bridge. Pena told authorities he tried to tell Martinez to stop, but Martinez put his arm around Jocelyn's neck and covered her mouth. Pena allegedly kissed Jocelyn. Prosecutors said Martinez Rangel admitted to tying her legs. He had bite marks and scratches on his arm and shaved his face to avoid detection. Jocelyn was found without her pants and cuts on her body. Wow. Today we asked the lead prosecutor about the timeline on the sexual assault kit.
Our intention to expedite the testing on the buccal swabs that we took from the defendant, as well as from the SANE exam, that would be a question for the lab in terms of how soon, but we would like to get those answers as soon as possible so that we can start to get some answers for the family.
Right now, both men are charged with capital murder. Jocelyn will be laid to rest on Thursday. Coming up tonight at 4 and 6 o'clock, KPRC2 reporter Corley Peel will have much more on this developing story. Reporting inside of the Harris County Criminal Justice Center, I'm Rochelle Turner, KPRC2 News.
And here are the details of Jocelyn's funeral arrangements. As Rochelle mentioned, that service will be this Thursday from 1 to 3 p.m. It will be held at the Earthman Rest Haven Cemetery along the North Freeway. Following the service and just down the road, Gallery Furniture will host a celebration of life. Mattress Mac is covering all of Jocelyn's funeral expenses.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetizing shadow banning this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
For New 10 and only on 2 tonight, an attorney for one of the men accused of killing Jocelyn Nungaray is sharing new details on the case as her family prepares to lay her to rest this week.
KPRC2's Bryce Newberry live at the Harris County Jail tonight with everything we learned in court today and that new interview you'll see only on 2. Bryce?
Lisa and Keith, attorneys for Franklin Pena have acknowledged the high-profile nature of this case. They filed a request with the judge to block their client from any jailhouse interviews or visits. And tonight, with all of the attention that this capital murder case is getting, there's already a question of whether it could be tried fairly here in Harris County. Escorted by a deputy, cuffed and in a yellow jumpsuit, 26-year-old Franklin Pena faced a Harris County judge for the first time Monday.
We have to protect our most valuable resources, our kids.
He and 22-year-old Johan Martinez Rangel are charged with capital murder, accused of asking Jocelyn Nungaray for directions and luring her to this Rankin Road bridge where they tied her up, removed her pants, strangled her, then threw her body in the creek to get rid of DNA. They had spent hours at this bar before the alleged murder.
Was he drunk that night? I have no evidence. I have nothing one way or the other to know.
Daniel Werlinger has been appointed to represent Pena. He asked Judge Josh Hill for a $1 million bond. Instead, Pena is being held on a $10 million bond.
Because as long as there's an ICE hold in place, he's not going anywhere. The bond can be set at $1. It would not matter.
Pena is from Venezuela in the U.S. illegally.
And that's good. Because some states are not cooperating with ICE. There is a story about a Haitian illegal alien who raped a young lady, and because the state was not cooperating with ICE, and I want to say it's Michigan, but I gotta double check, but the state's not cooperating with ICE, and this man was let go on a $500 bond after raping a young lady. I mean, these Democrat, Soros-funded DAs, prosecutors, judges, they're no good.
Separately, he'd been apprehended, then released by Border Patrol less than 3 weeks before Jocelyn's death.
Our immigration system is broken, and if there was ever a case that reflected that, it's this one.
After the murder, prosecutors say the men asked their construction boss for money to get out of town.
There's an understanding that something went wrong, someone got hurt, and someone was killed.
The boss came forward, helping police identify them and their location. Before an arrest, only our cameras captured at their apartment. Based on the evidence presented so far, Whirlinger says they have some defensible issues. The national and political attention on the case could make it difficult to find an impartial jury. And as for the connection between Pena and Martinez Rangel,
they're potentially roommates, but beyond that, I'm not prepared to comment further on any relationship.
Would you describe him as remorseful?
I definitely believe he understands the gravity of the situation. He is very remorseful for the situation that he finds himself in.
Pena did not know Jocelyn before the murder. Prosecutors say,
I still see her face in the back of my head every day, all day.
Her mother still fighting for her, without her.
She's gonna make a difference in this world for all children, and now it's my job to make sure it continues to happen.
And for the record, let's just keep it a buck. A lot of these women, you know, whose families are being affected, they were hardcore leftists, hardcore liberals, period. They supported Biden. And for Biden to hand them this slap in the face with a loved one, a young girl, a preteen, murdered, raped in cold blood, I mean, it's deep. It's deep.
And tonight, prosecutors are still waiting on lab results to determine if any sort of sexual assault occurred, at which point charges could be upgraded, which would then make these defendants eligible for the death penalty. Now, Pena's defense attorney acknowledged the toughness of this case, but says his client deserves his day in court. As for Martinez Rangel, he is scheduled to make his first court appearance tomorrow morning. We're live downtown. I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC 2 News.
We'll continue to follow those developments. Bryce, thank you so much.
$10 million. That is the bond for one of the men accused of killing a 12-year-old girl in North Houston. But the family of Jocelyn Nungaray is waiting to see if the death penalty will be considered. This is KPRC 2 News at 4. I'm Candace Burns.
And I'm Andy Sirota. Lisa Hernandez is anchoring our evening newscast. Jocelyn Nungaray's body was found in a creek off West Rankin Road a week ago today. Franklin Pena and John Rangel Martinez are both charged with capital murder in her death.
KPRC 2's Coralie Peel was at a news conference after court today. She joins us live from outside of the Harris County Courthouse with how Pena's life is being spared.
She cold. She actually looks like a Jessica Simpson from back in the day.
For now, Coralie.
Yeah, we learned because Jocelyn is between the ages of 10 to 15 that Pena is not eligible for the death penalty. But as more evidence comes in, District Attorney Kim Ogg says that could change. In a yellow jumpsuit and handcuffs wrapped around his wrist, Franklin Pena faced a judge 1 week after police say he and Johan Rangel Martinez strangled and killed 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray. Her mother, Alexis Nungaray, spoke out after court, saying she still feels her daughter's spirit.
I hear her sayings just replaying over and over in a loop in my brain. Her dorkiness, her quirkiness, she definitely made people laugh. She's I'm always gonna remember those memories because she had such a bright future ahead of her, and I knew she was gonna go very far.
Investigators say Jocelyn snuck out of her family's apartment sometime after 10 p.m. on June 16th.
Ouch. And I bet she wished she had never tried to act so grown, act so fast. You know, and that's another thing that we should talk about, the culture issue, but that's neither here nor there.
Pena and Martinez had visited a local bar for hours. They eventually saw Jocelyn at a 7-Eleven and asked her for directions. Court records show they lured Jocelyn to a bridge where they tied her up, removed her pants, and strangled her before throwing her body in the creek, trying to get rid of DNA. Jocelyn's body was discovered hours later. Only our cameras were there as police took the men into custody at a nearby apartment 3 days after her murder. So far, only Pena has been arraigned.
The charge is capital murder of a child between 10 and 15 years old. At this time, the current charge does not carry death penalty eligibility.
OGG says they're still waiting on results from forensic testing that could change Pena's eligibility for the death penalty.
Should those tests produce evidence that would support a charge of sexual assault, or should other evidence be brought forward that supports a charge of kidnapping, both underlying offenses would make this capital murder and these individuals death penalty eligible.
I just want people to remember, I know this is a very high profile case, but she was still my firstborn. I was a teen mom. I fought for her at 15. So 27 now, I'm still fighting for her. And just remember that she was a very special little girl that deserves her justice.
And Johan Rangel Martinez is expected to have his arraignment tomorrow morning. But coming up at 6, we'll tell you how Pena and Rangel Martinez's boss tipped off police about where they were and what they asked him to do right after Jocelyn's murder. Live from downtown, Corley Peel, KPRC 2 News.
As our area prepares to lay another 12-year-old to rest. This afternoon, Jocelyn Nungaray will be laid to rest. She was murdered last week, but today her friends and family will come together to reflect on her life. CW39 Houston's Kara Willis joins us now live from Earthman Rest Haven Cemetery. And obviously, Kara, the people are going to remember her in a variety of ways today.
That's right, Seth. We are here at the cemetery now. Not much going on just yet, but later today, this cemetery will be full of those who loved and will remember Jocelyn forever. Our community definitely lost an angel, and her family's been speaking out about just what type of person she is, and they want everyone who hasn't been following this case to know and remember her for the loving child that she was. Jocelyn's mother, Alexis Nungaray, says her daughter was her firstborn. She had her at 15 years old. She's spoken publicly about the kind of person Jocelyn was, saying she will be remembered for her dorkiness, her quirkiness, and her ability to make others smile and laugh. The 12-year-old's grandfather adds she always had a love for animals and always wanted to find strays a good home. The family is thankful for the world taking notice of this tragic event, and they want everyone to know just how special Jocelyn meant to them.
I still see her face in the back of my head every day, all day. Keep getting little signs about her throughout the days, and it's just been a very, very hard time for me and my family.
Now, the funeral is open to the public. It will take place today at 1 p.m. The funeral will be here at the Earthman Rest Haven Cemetery at 13102 North Freeway. We have that punched up for you on your screen. And again, it's open to all who wish to come out and pay their respects. The family does have a GoFundMe page going if you would like to donate anything, or if you can't come to the funeral today as they continue to mourn the loss of their baby girl, Jocelyn. And also, our own Mattress Mac is actually holding a tribute to Jocelyn at one of his gallery furniture locations. We have that up on our website at CW39.com. It's also open to the public, and there will be different speakers, such as our Mayor Whitmire. They'll also have the HPD chief and many other speakers, including Jocelyn's family, there to speak about what they'll remember Jocelyn for forever. Sending it back to you.
All right, Kara, live at that cemetery today where little Jocelyn will be laid to rest. Thank you for those updates. And of course, our area will be in mourning today as that takes place.
All right, guys, so I want to show you this clip of the aunt at the funeral of Jocelyn Nungaray. And it's a sad video. And I just want you guys to really just reflect on what we are facing in this day and age. It's very upsetting, very sad, but the reality is we are at the brink of collapse in this country, and a lot of it has to do with Biden's bloody border. So let's listen up.
Hello, everyone. I am Jocelyn's great aunt, but everybody knows me, and how she knew me was Thea. But how I knew her is not Jocelyn, it's by Jossie. Today, I have the honor and great privilege to share a few words about Jossie. I have such great memories of her. I've been so blessed to have been there when she first came into this world, took her first breath. And I was with her the day before she took her last breath. And now she's forever taken from us. But my favorite memories was when she was a baby and a toddler. All you can ever, what my favorite was her always crawling in and out of my room. She was either in or she was out. Always there. I want to think it was for me, but I think it was for my son Gio's toys. It really wasn't for me. He had a lot of toys. But I will always remember her big, beautiful smile and beautiful, bright eyes. And she had such beautiful curly locks. And Jossie was our chunky little thing. She had rolls for days, but always a happy baby. But those who did know her knew Jossie was shy, quiet, soft-spoken, and reserved like her mom. Jossie loved to read. Anytime we were at Walmart or any store, that girl would try to beeline for the book section all day, every day. And so we had to hold on to her so she didn't go. But that's what Jossie loved to do. She loved to read Harry Potter and all the series, Stranger Things, Twilight. But every year my family and I have a family vacation. She rode up there with me and my son up there to vacation, and then the Sunday morning she rode back with me, June 16th. But Jossie, I will always love you, and today is the last day I will get to physically see you and just touch you one more time. But until we meet again, Jossie, and we will, but you're up in heaven with Lita, and I know she's loving on you and probably made you some good food. So, but I love you. I love everyone. And just thank y'all so much for being here. But I did want to say, one of her best cousins, my niece, is Kara, and those were two peas in a pod right there. Is this going to be forever different? When we have Christmas, because as soon as one or the other was there, they waited for the other one, and as soon as they were together, they were gone. I'm always going to miss Jossie. So thank y'all, everyone, for all of your support and everybody that has done everything. But first and foremost, I just wanted to say I love you, Jossie, and we will see you again. I promise. And we will get them, and they will get what they deserve. Thank you.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.